You may have noticed that frogs croak more frequently at night than during the day. This nocturnal chorus can be especially loud and noticeable during mating season, when male frogs will often gather in large groups and compete with each other to attract a mate. But why do they do this? Hi, it's me, and this is my channel. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at why frogs croak at night. So let's get started. There are many different species of frogs, and they can be found all over the world. These amphibians come in all shapes and sizes, from the tiny Amazonian tree frog, which is only about an inch long, to the giant African bullfrog, which can grow to be over 8 inches long. Despite their differences in size and appearance, most frogs have one thing in common. They are nocturnal, meaning that they are most active at night. Frogs are cold-blooded animals, which means that they rely on the environment to regulate their body temperature. When the sun is shining and the temperatures are high, frogs can absorb heat through their skin and become active. However, as the temperature begins to drop, frogs become sluggish and seek shelter to conserve their energy. Because of this, frogs are most active during the cooler temperatures of the night, when their bodies are not at risk of overheating. Another reason for their nocturnal behavior is that it helps them to avoid predators. During the day, many animals are awake and looking for food. This means that frogs are at risk of being eaten if they are out in the open. However, at night, frogs are much safer from predators. This allows them to be more active and forage for food without the risk of being eaten themselves. Perhaps the most well-known behavior of frogs is their ability to jump long distances. This is due to their powerful hind legs, which are adapted for jumping. However, this also makes them vulnerable to predators. If a frog is perched on a leaf or a twig and a predator swoops down to grab it, the frog has very little time to react. However, if the frog is resting on the ground, it has more time to react and can use its powerful legs to jump out of the way. This is another reason why frogs are more active at night, as it gives them more time to escape if they are being hunted. Finally, frogs communicate with each other through their calls, which they produce by forcing air through their vocal cords. Male frogs typically have larger vocal cords than females, and their calls are louder and more resonant. Frogs use their calls to attract mates, defend their territory, and communicate with each other. However, these calls can also attract the attention of predators. If a predator is listening nearby, it may be attracted to the sound of a frog's call and use it to locate the frog. For this reason, frogs are more likely to call at night when there are fewer predators active. This allows them to communicate without attracting unwanted attention. In conclusion, frogs are more active at night for several reasons. They're cold-blooded animals who need to regulate their body temperature. They are more active when they are not at risk of overheating. Their nocturnal behavior also helps them to avoid daytime predators. Finally, frogs are more likely to be attacked if they are perched on a leaf or a twig than if they are on the ground. This gives them more time to escape if they are being hunted. Frogs also communicate with each other through their calls, but these calls can attract predators. For this reason, frogs are more likely to call at night when there are fewer predators active. So the next time you hear a chorus of frogs croaking at night, remember that they are more active during the night for several reasons. Not only does it help them to survive, but it also allows them to communicate with each other and find mates. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. We've got lots more to come. Thanks for watching. See you next time.